Mm.
Okay, here we go. Imagine with me, if you will, a nice, sunny Southern California day in 1930. A man decides to take his daughters to Griffith Park in Los Angeles, California, where he lets his daughters gleefully ride the carousel that is located in the middle of the park. He decides to grab a bag of peanuts and sit on a bench and watches his daughters enjoy their ride on the carousel. In his mind, he starts to wonder, why isn't there a place where I can take my family or other families can go to enjoy each other? That man was Walt Disney. About 20 years later, on July 21st of 1954, the first ground was leveled for the beginnings of Disneyland. Disneyland opened on July 17th, 1955. So today in my speech, we're going to be exploring the past, present, and future evolution of Disneyland. So first, we're going to talk about opening day and the first 15 years. Like I said, the concept of Disneyland started in 1930, groundbreaking was in 1954, and the park opened in 1955. On opening day, Disneyland was made up of Town Square, Main Street, USA, which was inspired by Walt's hometown of Marceline, Missouri, Sleeping Beauty's Castle, which was inspired by Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria on the border of Germany and Austria. And there were 4 themed lands: Adventureland to the right, Frontierland to the slight right or left, depending upon which way you're standing, Fantasyland through the castle, and Tomorrowland to the other side. In his book, 2020 book, Disney's Land, Richard Snow said, "Here spread the towers of a fairy tale castle, were lands that recreated the American West of a century earlier, and a jungle river fraught with perils that offered a journey to the moon by rocket, or one to Peter Pan's Neverland by galleon, or along the Mississippi of Mark Twain's youth aboard a steamwheeler." Admission back in 1955 was paid at the gate. Each attraction was separately priced. In October of 1955 is when ticket books were introduced. They were first only A through C tickets based upon the thrill of the ride. The D ticket was added in 1956, and the E ticket, which is the famous one, was added in 1959. Ticket books stuck around for 30 years and then were replaced by the annual pass program, the inclusive passport, which then led to the annual pass program, which was sunsetted in 2021 after the year-long COVID-19 pandemic, which turned into the Magic Key program. In his article, E-Ticket Memories, 5 Favorite Facts About Ticket Books, Stephen Vagnini of D23.com said, "Walt Disney and his team realized that it would be necessary to constantly add and improve new experiences to the parks in order to keep guests to coming back." In 1956 to 1970, many new attractions were added, such as the Disneyland monorail, the Matterhorn bobsleds, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Haunted Mansion, to name a few. One land was added, New Orleans Square, which is on the other side of Adventureland. And there were many new events added, such as fireworks spectaculars, Disneyland date nights with live bands and dancing, private parties, and grad nights. On December 15th, 1966, the creator of Disneyland passed away from lung cancer, which brought huge heartbreak to the world. His brother, Roy Disney, pledged the continuation of Walt's plans for the park expansion, in keeping with the promise that Walt Disney had from day one. Next, we're going to go through the present stages of evolution from 1970 to 2024. Disneyland is an evolutionary tourist attraction with changes constantly being made on attractions, experiences, and even expansions. New lands have been added since 1970, Critter Country in 1972, Mickey's Toontown in 1993, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in 2019. New attractions were added to all of those new lands, as well as older attractions being refurbished with ADA guidelines, which did not exist in 1955. And some attractions have been re-themed to meet with societal themes nowadays. The most major expansion of the Disneyland Resort happened in 2000 to 2001, when Disney's California Adventure was built in the old Disneyland parking lot. Mike Tharp in U.S. News and World Report 2001 quoted Michael Eisner as saying, it's pretty amazing, pretty cool. We made the whole thing a destination resort and it only took 16 years. On top of California Adventure, Downtown Disney was also developed in 2001, as well as the first parking structure, Mickey and Friends, which hosted 10,000 spots. Now we'll discuss the future evolutionary plan of Disneyland. The Disneyland theme park continues to evolve every day. Disneyland Forward was a developmental agreement with the city of Anaheim that was introduced in 2021, but was sunsetted due to a minor disagreement with the city of Anaheim and the Walt Disney Company. It was re-sent to the Anaheim City Council in 2024. It is a developmental agreement adding new attractions, hotels, dining, and structures, and is slated to cost $1.9 billion, although the projections have also skyrocketed up to $2.6 billion. Emily Santiago Molina from the Orange County Business Journal, in her article from 2024, said, Disneyland proposes its $1.9 billion investment with Anaheim. Among the notable changes in zoning, the proposal would increase the zoning that allows for a mix of theme park attractions, hotels, shops, and restaurants from 292 acres to 389 acres. It will also be adding a 17,600 parking structure as well. In the environmental report for Disneyland, it indicated that Disneyland met the theme park historic district criteria, enabling it to be on the National Registry of Historic Places and on the California Register of Historical Resources. Brady McDonald from the Orange County Register in March 26th of 2024 said Disneyland is now a historic theme park district. There have been continuous changes to the park that started upon its opening. Disney is the steward of its history, but is also responsible for sustaining the viability of the theme park and ensuring that it is maintained and updated in order to reflect current needs and expectations. The three places that were added to the California Register of Historic Resources are Main Street Station, due to its significant events, people, and architecture of its time, Pirates of the Caribbean, because it was part of the first expansion in the 1960s, and Hungry Bear Restaurant, which was added because it was the first expansion of the 1970s. So now that we've explored the beginnings of Disneyland, its present evolution, and its coming up and coming revolution, in my conclusion, Disneyland started as a fleeting thought in the mind of a father just spending the day with his girls. And it has turned into a place where memories are made, money is definitely spent, and it brings people together. It has created a lot of lifelong memories between the general population, royalty, and even Hollywood celebrities. As Walt Disney said in the very beginning, Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there's imagination left in the world. And I will close with his opening day speech. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenges and promises of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, good job.